The second one is placement. Okay, when I talk about placement, these are tactile prompts we call. Say for example, a child is not able to seal the lips around a spoon. You can prompt the child with a tactile prompt. You're trying to work on sucking and you're giving the child a straw tumbler, a tumbler with a straw attached. That's one of the best tools that you can give. So you're putting that on the child's mouth. The child is sucking, but the water is falling back. Why? There's no sufficient seal. So when I say tactile prompt, I put my hand like this. I support the child to suck and I pull the tool. The speech tool here is the tumbler that you're using, the straw tumbler that you're using. So the tactile prompt to seal, the child sucks in, I quickly wean it out because the child doesn't throw water back into. Okay, so that is the tool that I'm weaning it out. Prompt is what I'm giving with my fingers or with a tool, and I use speech tools to use, I use speech tools in the session to get the sufficient strength that the child requires to talk or to say a certain sound or follow a certain feeding skill. Next is the muscle strength or the muscle memory also. Okay. So muscle strength, we all want to build muscle strength for the children who come to us for therapy. As parents, you all also want to build muscle strength so the child is able to have the tone that is required for a speech activity or for a feeding activity. Now sometimes you build in muscle strength and then along with that, not sometimes, we always build in muscle strength with muscle memory. Muscle strength and muscle memory go hand in hand. So when I learn to suck through a straw tumbler, I remember how to do it the next time as well. Now that is muscle memory. Learning to suck using proper lip seal is the muscle strength. Remembering it when you come for the next day is the muscle memory. Now these two go hand in hand. But sometimes our children tend to forget a learned task. Their muscle memory is limited. They forget how they have placed their oral structures the previous time they used the straw tumbler. That's why we wonder, yesterday she did, but today she's not doing. She did it last week. She went for 2 days break, Saturday, Sunday, Monday she's not doing because of limited muscle memory. The child has forgotten how to do the placement. So what we need to do, be patient. First thing, be patient. It is difficult. You teach, they forget, you teach, they forget, you teach, they forget, you teach, they will remember. It may be the 10th time, it may be the 3rd time, it depends on the child. It depends on the child's muscle memory. And sometimes, unknowingly, we credit this to stubbornness. It need not be stubbornness. It need not be. See why the child is stubborn. If you're thinking your child is stubborn and he's refusing to use a straw tumbler, he's very stubborn, think, why could the child be stubborn not using it? Is it because she or he has got hypersensitivity? Then work on hypersensitivity. Is it because the muscle strength is limited? Work on muscle strength. Is it because of the muscle memory which is limited? Work on muscle memory. So the first thing is be patient. Second thing is troubleshoot. Find out why the child is not doing. Don't credit everything to stubbornness because everything need not be stubbornness. Mostly not. We are very vehement about not doing something. There could be a cause for it. There will be a history to it. Find out what is the placement history and try to narrow down on that and work on specific skills and build whatever targets you want to build in the child. Ensure that your child is always motivated. When you're doing a muscle strength activity, most of the time you see it is going to be repetitions. I have to work on certain exercises every day. I like it or not, the child likes it or not, I have to work on it every day. I'm sure you will be facing the same thing too. But just keep it a little more creative, little more motivated. so that your child doesn't get bored or tired of the same thing again and again and again, right? So that is to do with motivation. Muscle strength has to go with motivation. Sometimes things can be painful for the children, they will not cooperate. See how you can get them motivated. And troubleshoot. I already spoke to you about troubleshooting. When child doesn't want to do something, find out why. Keep questioning yourself, be it in a therapy session or as a parent you're working at home. Question yourself why. Why my child doesn't want to do that? Why my child prefers that? In what way is that benefiting? How can I use the motivated activity into a speech-based task? How could I use that? Maybe the child likes to kiss, but the child doesn't want to blow. Use his kisses to get him to blow. Teach different types of kisses. Tell I'm going to teach you a butterfly kiss, tell I'm going to teach you a blowing kiss, and get blowing there. So see how you can keep varying your activities. The last one is the production, which is speech production. The golden rule is muscle strength, muscle memory, child's motivation. If you see, I have put this as the last point of what I was covering so far. The reason I'm putting this last is because unless and until the sensory challenges are dealt with, the muscle strength is dealt with, the muscle memory is dealt with, speech will not be clear. And when the background is not in place, you cannot force a child to speak. I want my child to say t. T is a complex sound. Can the child say p? Why can a child not say t? Tongue has to flex up. It's difficult for the child. So see what is easy for the child, see what strengthening exercises you need to do, then think of speech. Don't push or force the child to speak. They will speak. There are different methods of speaking and they will speak if they are happy. Now I've been practicing for the past 14 years and I think in all my years of career, I've had 1 or 2 children who've been non-verbal in my sessions. That's it. So we have categories, non-verbal, verbal children, mixed, both. In my opinion, the child is happy, he will speak. Because every child wants to communicate. It's up to us to keep the environment happy for them. It need not be like a school setting coming to therapy. It can be just a play setting. And at home, you don't have to, I've seen some parents talk to the child like, a military officer. Smriti, sit down. Take off your shoes. Put it in the shoe rack. Now get inside your class. I had a mother actually do this when she came to my sessions. She just started therapy with me and I told the mother, why do you talk like that? No, my therapist told me to talk to the child like that. She needs to be very firm with, only then she will learn. She's a very stubborn girl. It took me a while. It took me a while to convince the parent that, it is not good to use a taskmaster method of communicating with a child. Because your child doesn't need too many teachers, and I would say even as therapists, I don't think we need to talk like that. There's no necessity for that. And I think if there's proper give and take and there's a respect for the child will do anything that you want because the child loves you. So first thing is build that rapport with the child, make friends with the child,